Mountain Dew League. It is the European coverage, and it is myself, Scrawny, joined by Emode. We've got a treat to start off this evening, and that's going to be Virtus.pro hitting the server early with Red Reserve on the other side of this terrorist side on Mirage, of all places. I'd love to see VP just lock them down. Classic Virtus.pro, obviously, with the new addition of Michu. Currently playing Catwalk, Evan, so you might get some early action. It's going to be that B hit. Terrorists tripling in. Lots of nice headshots to start. Michu. Oh, my. There's three. Give us the last. He tapped, and he takes it. Welcome.
What a pistol round.
Welcome to Virtus.pro.
The new addition to the lineup here as he has replaced Taz. A sad farewell to Taz, but wow. A big hello from Michu as he is impressing us right out the gates. What a pistol round from him, Connor.
Yeah, really cool to just see him, you know, be into position to actually find impact, right? He's on the A site. We never see it, but sure enough, first pistol, first contact, and first 4K of the day. Virtus.pro straight away heading up towards middle, already just going to pummel them down with MP9s here. I'd love to see VP just come into this server confident, Evan, try to be that step above and beyond a roster like Red Reserve. We'd seen promise out of them, you know, a couple of LAN appearances throughout 2017, but we're back to 2018, and it's the Mountain Dew League, so not as impressive as of yet. But Snacks, obviously 3 frags already, just looking to find this last one.
This was an armor round out of the Red Reserve side here. Neo should be able to get 3. Yes, he's able to take down Rez. And there it is. Second round. That was an armor round. That was a huge, clean round from VP. They made that very quick. It got scary towards the end. They did end up losing 2 people in Michu and MDL. But nonetheless, for an armor round, Red Reserve not doing too much economic damage. I'd say VP came firmly on top there.
I've actually seen some roster changes on both of these teams, right? DJ Loco back in the mix for Red Reserve. We had seen the departure of Hampus from, I would argue, their most notable lineup. Mike Yuleli once upon a time would play with this lineup as well, so...
I've never seen DJ Loco play before.
Keep your eyes on him. Things can get crazy. Oh my god.
Dude, VP's looking nice right now.
Evan, the plow is back.
VP's looking nice right now. Let's see what happens to this first gun round.
Yeah, definitely just bullying Red Reserve there. That's 2 top mid pushes, 2 top mid stacks from Red Reserve. So unfortunately just getting hard countered. But they've got those AKs in play. They've got the grenades to go with it. And we do see 2 MP9s move forward from Virtus.pro. I'd say with so much cash in your bank accounts, why not take the gamble?
Exactly. Keep those. If you win the round because of them, imagine the money in your pockets if Neo and Pasha end up going off.
That's who I always look to when it comes to Virtus.pro and Mirage. I love to watch Pasha Biceps just tear it up inside of mid with that AWP. I think it's one of the maps where he can perform well individually speaking. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes on that once we move forward into the AWP play.
There's very few players that have gotten me starstruck in this game, but the VP 1.6 lineup in Torble keep me speechless whenever I see them. Great guys.
One day you'll meet them, Evan. You'll be at the same event. You'll be starstruck, and I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah, I met Torble. I was starstruck. I met Lord from the 1.6 lineup. I think he's the coach for one of the Polish teams now. Kingwin, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
And I was just jaw open looking at him.
Best part of this job, man. Meeting the people you look up to. But right now we have Red Reserve taking a different stance. It's still a mid emphasis, but it's not being pushed back by Virtus.pro. VP instead opting to go over towards a ramp. They've cleared it out so they can confirm there's no default. And this is going to put pressure on Snacks as he sits inside this B site. But CT is getting ahead of this in time because Red Reserve, they're not rushing. They're walking into the B site while Virtus.pro have info.
And look at this heavy rotate now. Neo pushing through that T-spawn. So all of VP will be heading there now. And the hits coming in at the same time.
Oh, Snacks from just behind the van. He does chime in with 1. Tries to fire off, and he lines up 2 more. Last man's Plessin down into the site. Snacks just creeps and crawls away, doing what he does best. Buying time for Neo, who's not yet in position, but will find the bomb carrier on the cross. Like you said, 8 seconds. It's done for. Plessin will attempt the plant, and he's not even going to get it.
No, Neo gets himself $600 off of that. Look at his money going into this 5th round now, Connor. He's above 10K here. 2 people on VP in Neo and Pasha above that 10K mark. And they're doing really well starting off here. VP, they came to play tonight. They came to play tonight, Connor.
Yeah, it's a fresh season. Unfortunate, you know, that we didn't see them get promoted back into the Pro League last season, but at least they did make playoffs. They were in the decider match, I believe, versus Space Soldiers after having dropped into the lower brackets against AGO and Ecstatus. But right now it's Batten, who's popping heads here in mid. Deagles in the hands of the T side, rifles for the CTs, and they're making quick work of what was that mid control.
Neo making that contact now towards the lower B, and Snacks hopping in through that window to finish it up. Mihao towards middle, and 5-0 for VP here. Another clean round for them, only losing one person. They recover Pasha's off, and they're off to another great gun round. Neo is just banking right now, Connor. Look at this guy.
Making money. That's what 25K a month will do for you, Evan.
I see what you did there.
Red Reserve creeping into Palace with one man, and one man alone, Gustafsson, who I believe is Freddy Frog. But just like Goldsmeed and / Dragonfly of Fragsters, he's got two different aliases, split personality, however consistent skill. Patience as well, just waiting as his teammates died at the top of mid. That's Pasha who got aggressive, pushed out from connector, straight towards the top, and he hits the shot, falling back right after.
Look at this re-aggression towards the cat now. Really like this out of the Virtus.pro side. Not stopping after that first pick. They're going to go for another cheeky one kill here if they can towards this cat. As we do see Red Reserve now working towards that middle, and they may actually end up looking for a window boost here.
Eventually the Palace alert does go Gustafsson's way. He finds the kill on Snacks, and this is going to be like the trigger to call players in through connector, but you can see Virtus.pro, just like last round, Evan, very hot in the heels of Red Reserve. Just as they're going into their execute, just as they're about to push forward, VP are aware of what's coming their way, but the Molotov does get extinguished and Viali dies. Neo just blasted, and Red Reserve hitting headshots here on A. So the newcomer is going to have to come up big yet again, but he should know better. Tucktail, save it, keep this economy fresh.
Yeah, Viali had a great idea towards connector with that Molotov. Unfortunately, just a little bit of off timing in regards to when that molly gets thrown, he gets extinguished by the smoke as well. But he had the right idea. Unfortunately, does not pay off in his favor. And for Red Reserve, that was huge, as it allows them to come through that connector, open up the A site. 3 kills in a matter of, I believe, 2 seconds, Connor. That round's over. Red Reserve's on the board. First round goes their way. Yeah,
I feel like that's you know, kind of another point that they had over towards the B site when we saw that very close setup with VP just getting in time. Very similar rounds. Terrorists take their time towards mid, use it to execute into a late round bite bomb site hit. Virtus.pro aware of it, but the duels go VP's way on that B site. We had Snacks who was able to lock down Pillar. The players line up. It went his way. This round is a completely different instance in the sense that Red Reserve win all their duels, and obviously the outcome's different.
Man, look at that money for the VP side here. All but gone.
Wash it away.
Red Reserve, though. I mean, they kept 4 people alive in that last round, and that's going to give them a free force round out of that. And going into this gun round, if they're able to string 2 together, I mean, we're going to see VP go onto that eco. And from there, I mean, it's a brand new game, as Red Reserve most likely will be getting to that 3rd round, maybe even a 4th if they win the next gun round.
It was really cool to see Snacks' first AWP positioned in window at the beginning of this round. It buys time for Pasha to get boosted up here on top of the bricks on Catwalk. And by the time he's now boosted in mid, I was thinking, oh, nice, double op setup. But no, Snacks doubles back and will play from Marketplace, just watching apartments cross. And then Michu, who was boosting Pasha, takes over Snacks' positioning. So really cool to see Michu already being introduced into these strategies, these multi-layered setups that have players rotating around the map. And it's not the first time we've seen it either. It's just, I'd say, a sign of good things to come. But yet again, Red Reserve buying time and taking mid late.
Yeah, now we're hitting that 45-second mark. They haven't even taken connector control at this point. And this is where it starts getting scary for the Red Reserve side, because look at the cat player in that Lego room, as well as Pasha. I mean, they're full of nades, they're full of Molotovs. They're going to be able to hold down any rush here. Now we see Neo as well moving back towards that A site alongside the team of Red Reserve now.
In the second round in a row, though, It's Freddy Frog who wins the duel inside of Palace, so they will have that in their hands moving forward. Michu's down towards Connector, and Neo also dies. So just like the round prior, it's Red Reserve hitting this bomb site late and getting all of the kills. Nobody can stop them. Despite damage being dealt to two of these T's, it's Snacks and Pasha to start to swing it back. That's the double op shot, both of which connect. And that's going to buy them a little bit of time to rotate over. We see Snacks now trying to find more contact. Man behind fire, one on ramp, and the third inside of Palace. So definitely difficult positions to unroot them from. But like you said, they're full of grenades, and Snacks is just going to throw a smoke onto the bomb. Tries to sell the fake, will decide to save that AWP.
The issue for me, honestly, became VP with the A setup they had going on. I mean, I don't mind having somebody anchored in A, but you always want to have somebody playing that CT spawn, that ticket box area, just to allow, you know, for easy kills and that support. What you saw was Neo reaggress after the initial Hall's aggression, and that's two people going down in a 1vx situation. They lose two very easy fights towards A, and once again, you lose those fights early, the A site becomes open. It's a very easy round for the T's to capitalize on, and Red Reserve do exactly that and get their second round.
Now, we said the money from Virtus.pro was weak in the last round because we saw their riches disappear real quick, but they will still be able to force behind that double op save. They've got enough utility, one kit still on Pasha, enough grenades. This is definitely a doable round, and we're going to see Red Reserve hit A yet once more, but this time a much faster pace. Bialy still on top of Palace, has not been pushed out, but now he spots targets and he can't hit the head. Neo does take down two, and possibly the third, because DJ Loco's looking up close. He hears it, but he can't stop it. And a 3v3 ensues here with Michu still on stairs.
Do you see the difference there from having one person anchored to having one person in that ticket boost spawn area? Neo's able to open up on what Bialy wasn't able to and just pick up the round or bring his team back into the round in essence.
With Relaxa getting the op shot to Pasha, it's the T's with a man advantage, but the bomb's still yet to cross from Tetris. That's the biggest issue. DJ Loco just pinned into these boxes, and patience will play a key role in this round. You can see everybody from VP through Red Reserve just posted up and playing patient. But now the jitters set in. DJ Loco exposes himself, confirms where Michu's at. Michu looks to reposition, smoking off the Palace, and Snacks drops bomb, but it's traded right back, and the AK still on site could plant now. Michu tries to stop it, and he's absolutely denied. Red Reserve with another.
That was a good little smoke from the connector to block off the halls, but at that same time, Snacks going down in spawn, Michu letting his info be known towards that connector already. Unfortunately, the round for VP becomes very hard at that point. Red Reserve, like I said, get their third round, and now going into this round, where we see VP Eco, Red Reserve should be going on their fourth, given that Neo, Bialy with that deagle, and Michu don't go off.
Finally, the riches come to a complete and utter end, and it is just going to be pistols with a single smoke. Making it work early on is Pasha, going back into that aggressive mid play. That's what we saw them utilize and abuse in the opening few rounds. Nice to see them try to go back for it on Eco.
Ooh, nice shot there by Pleasant.
Yeah, again, a patience play. Just waiting for someone to expose their head, and sure enough, they take it straight off.
Look at Bialy right now, though.
Yeah, it's a big flank. Pasha's on the other side, so if he can slow this down, then it'll be great. But look at this AWP player. Poor Relax is about to get a face full of Bialy.
Oh.
And he deals with it straight away. The flank indicates, of course, that Virtus.pro are aware as to what Red Reserve are up to, and so Pasha's just left all alone here, dealing with grenades, and no one to shoot at.
Yeah, that angle is really interesting there. I mean, Bialy had the flank, but because of the way Relaxa was playing that, the second Bialy actually crossed into the doorway, Relaxa just had to shoot, essentially. And that's golden at that point. Bialy, free op there, not able to recover it because of a great angle from Relaxa. Even though you think not all the dots are crossed, I mean, he's got it. He's got it. He knows what he's doing. Man, I got something in my eye right now.
Is it your finger?
Well, it is my finger now, but something else is in it.
Gotcha, Emode.
Gosh.
All right, Pasha. He's got himself an AK, so a bit of a treat to move forward into the next one. But this is Red Reserve starting to put up a solid T side. Remember, we saw the core of this Red Reserve team beat CLG at DreamHack Valencia on Mirage when Kusta didn't defuse the bomb. You remember that highlight?
I actually did not watch that tournament.
Do you remember? You don't remember the clip?
Of course, I've seen the clip.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I'm not insulted that you didn't watch, but at least you watched the clip, Evan.
I gotta be honest, man. I don't know.
Oh, honesty.
What Neo does right through the smoke to start the round onto DJ Loco at middle.
Yeah, and that's going to put Red Reserve now into this A-site execution that they did look to stack earlier on. We have Bialy towards the ticket position, like you were talking about, Evan. But again, he wants to move forward, and he's been caught out pushing Palace at least 2 rounds already this game. This forward position on top of the Palace exit has cost him his life, and we see these smoke grenades come forward from from Red Reserve as well. That would paint Neo and also Pasha out of the picture, unless Pasha also pushes up. So they don't have ticket control, but how do you feel when there's 2 CTs aggressive like this?
I'd like to see a little bit more support maybe from Neo towards that jungle area, maybe towards the window to be able to throw flashes for them. Nonetheless, though, the idea here is Bialy gets the first frag, or Pasha, they're looking up, the other person's looking down. Essentially, whoever's taking the first contact is going to be able to draw the crosshair to allow the second person to get involved, whichever way it is.
You get a flashbang being thrown out by from Relaxa in the spawn, just trying to show that there's a lot of presence here, when in fact the T's are moving backwards. They're moving over towards the B site. Batten finally shut down. The first time Virtus.pro have maintained that Palace control in a gun round. And not to mention Michu playing proactive on this flank. He hears the feet crossing. Snack's aware of what's coming his way, and he hits the first shot. The man drops, and Michu hits the flank. It's all on Gustafsson. And it's all over here. 6-4 as Virtus.pro get another round. Straight back from Red Reserve in the setup at that B site pretty quickly, just like we saw last round today. But again, they didn't pull the trigger, right? Red Reserve have been playing slower.
I like this aggression, though, from VP here. Another flashbang probably will come in.
The exchange of utility at the top of mid, and Pasha will find himself the opening kill. That, of course, allows for him to linger on if he'd choose to, but because of the low HP, I don't blame him for falling back, not wanting to lose the man advantage. I'm curious to see if they're able to shut down Freddy Frog inside of Palace yet again. Remember, that's been a key piece to the late round success of Red Reserve, but mid-round, they've lost another man, Plessant towards Underpass. The mid setups from Virtus.pro have been the key to the rounds that they've won.
And again, the aggression from VP, and Mihu's going to hear all of this towards T-Spawn, or at least he should. Yeah, there it is. I do believe you heard that. And we see Neo rotating now back towards the A side.
Bialy not going to be caught in Palace whatsoever. But Neo off the stairs is creating a distraction, and Bialy's going to peek. Hits the instant headshot. Bomb's been dropped, and Gustafsson is done for. Another solid round for Virtus.pro. No losses.
We see Red Reserve now. I mean, their money's really sporadic here. We could see Gustafsson drop some pistols, but I expect an eco round coming out. No, they actually opt to drop AKs. Okay, they're gonna buy up. It's gonna be a lower buy. 3 AKs on the field. An op maybe out of DJ Loco here. Is he just gonna op armor? No, he ends up going for an AK utility. And we see the go on to Pleasant. Nonetheless, though, Red Reserve make a buy out of this round, out of one person's strong economy.
So it's Snacks and Neo, Evan, that are stepping up in the first game of the day. And I mean, this is the first time I've had the chance to look at the new VP, and obviously, like we touched on it coming into this, it's such a sad day to watch Taz disappear. And not disappear, but at least no longer find a home in this roster. I was hoping, obviously, that Michu maybe would give us something to, you know, praise. He'd be like the superstar on the first day of the comeback. But it's actually really kind of refreshing to see him piecing together as a bit of a support. He's been boosting Pasha. He's been flashing Pasha in the top of middle. I think that's something that I only expected to happen maybe with more time on the team. Right? Think about how long this core has been together, how difficult it must be for them to try and slot in the new guy. So really cool to see him having an effect on the team play and not just the individual play, because we all knew he could frag, and arguably probably better than Taz. But look right now, we have Pasha yet again pushing up through mid, and Michu's just there behind him, looking to trade frag, looking to successfully hit this flank, which they're about to, unless Relaxa stops it with the first one he does. Now Michu's going to continue the trek, and sure enough, he takes himself another. But they've cleared the flank, and they've cleared their route towards B.
Ooh, and this is where it gets nice. The Snack's going to be able to push up. Yeah, and he does. He pushes up into the halls. He got the halls control completely. And now with that happening, we're seeing Bialy. He's going to take that jiggle towards mid, get the info. And I mean, there it is. Perfect. Oh, he went for the re-peek. Oh, that's huge. That's opening up the entire middle area, catwalk, connector, and window to whatever Red Reserve want to do.
Yet again, one of these mid-round moments where they're just going to go creeping into the A site, not throwing grenades, not announcing their presence. And so Neo's looking for targets. He finds the bomb, saw the barrel of the next, but doesn't know if it's still the split. He will be able to call for the cross from Snacks. Snacks coming in from the catwalk, hits himself another, and it is on Pleasant now. The double op retake. One kit and no longer any utility as Snacks uses the flashbang. Pleasant's going to look to flank into mid, and it's predicted. Snacks is on point. Neo ever present, and Virtus.pro moving on with yet another round.
Scary though, nonetheless. After Bialy going down in middle and that opening up the entire area, I thought Red Reserve might have taken a little bit more time, maybe gone for a window boost, split up Cat towards B. Nonetheless, they go towards A, and the Ops make quick work of them on the VP side, 8-4 for the Polish team. I mean, they're looking nice. Red Reserve isn't one of the stronger teams in the MDL group. Nonetheless, though, they are here, and this is a good proving ground for VP to show that they are still a top MDL team, regardless of what people think, and they are pushing towards that pro spot once again.
Well, I think it says something when in 2017, correct me if I'm wrong, Snacks didn't even make an appearance in the HLTV top 20, right? Snacks is supposed to be one of these star... Oh! Pleasant! Okay, Dirty Deegs. Star players is what we were talking about, Evan, and there's one for you. Hits himself a killer headshot at the top of mid. But going back to the point, you know, seeing Snacks play with 15 frags right now, having Neo behind him at 11, that's the difference right now between Virtus.pro and Red Reserve is we have two players showing and obviously cementing their skill ceiling. It's something that hasn't been a part of the Virtus.pro formula in the most recent months. And if Snacks is going to just come into the server and tear it up as he can, then this is the result we're going to get. Back and forth game at moments, but with these Deagles, Red Reserve are finding themselves. Michu and Pasha both blasted due to the 50 cal. It's the double op and the M4 of Bialy now. That is all that stands. And they have Yoda. They have no utility for an execution, Evan. So it's going to be a little difficult, but Red Reserve still have numbers.
Snacks' positioning here is going to be very, very scary. With that flash, too. If he doesn't hit this first shot, okay, he's going to be able to get the first one, but he's got to stay alive here and allow the rotations to come in.
Zeds out, a little bit of damage, enough to get Neo into the play. With that bomb still on display, he has a chance here, but they also have his op. Blessin wins the duel, and Bialy's going to have to flank out from Market, but Botan plants the bomb. And Plessin's already trained into this back door, so if Bialy walks out, he's done for surely. Unless Plessin repositions, which he doesn't. He starts it with the deagle, finishes it with the op, and gets Red Reserve a 5th.
Okay, and this is a big round coming up here. Look at the economy now on the side of VP, on the side of Red Reserve. Whoever picks up this round is sending the other team onto this last round with very little money. This can be huge. VP ending in 10-5 or Red Reserve bringing it back to an 8-7. Which for them, I mean, VP starting off 5-0 and turning it into an 8-7. I'd say Red Reserve brought that half back, in my opinion.
Yeah, certainly, especially knowing that, you know, towards the end of that first spree of 5, Virtus.pro were in some very back-and-forth moments. We had that 1-versus-1 clutch in round 4, of course, that certainly mattered. And then these most recent sprees of Virtus.pro, that 3-round combo, that was convincing. That was 5 players, 4 players alive, and it came off of the mid-aggression. It came off from the same convincing plays that were working for VP at the beginning of this matchup. It's something that they faded away from, and we saw those late-round moments going to Red Reserve, but this is another chance where the Swedes are just going to hit the brakes. They're going to post up inside of apps, and they're going to try to punish VP if they get overly aggressive.
Once again, that time winding down in the round. We're down to the 45-second mark here. The only benefit is that Red Reserve is going towards that B site, and we only see one player on VP and Snacks playing that solo. Michu is a very far rotation away, so Snacks is going to have to frag out.
Another round, just like the previous, where Snacks had to find earlier impact. And the flashbangs just come parading outwards. That's 3 or 4 already thrown. Relaxa tries to find the op shot, but it Snacks up close, hitting heads, and then finally falling to Batten. The flanks in play, the cat push on its way, and Bialy holds the line now. So if Relaxa drops, no, he gets past the shots, but only for the moment. It is just Plessin 1v4. We've seen great things, but that a bit too much to ask. VP taking 9.
All right, now, well, Red Reserve did get that bomb down in this round, and that's going to allow them here to pick up that op going into this final gun round on this first half. Maybe Batten drops the AK instead. We'll see what happens here, because we do see DJ Loco and Gustafsson very low on their economy right now, and somebody on the T side is going to have to help out with that.
All right. We could still get an op-v-op fight if Pasha does find Plessin, but Pasha's playing over towards Ticket, and Plessin's killing people in mid. Opening pick belongs to him. And Red Reserve closer to this B site. Unfortunately for Snacks, we've seen Michu come help him. And now Snacks has to do it on his own, so he's decided to get aggressive. He wants to get ahead of this because he's been playing patient so long now. But what is this? Red Reserve boosting Relaxa on top of his teammates, probably going for some kind of nade throw?
Yeah, it's a new line. I forgot what it smokes off, but I think there's 2 towers you do from the upper B now. And you can molly and I believe smoke Market window, like inside it. Something ridiculous.
Oh my god,
yeah,
I almost wish Snacks hadn't gone on the aggressive so that we could have seen that unfold. I'm not familiar with that whatsoever, so I'm gonna have to do a little research, Evan. But right now, Neo's...
I was going over it yesterday, but anyways, back to the retake.
Back to the retake. It is on, and it is the 3v4. Currently in the 15th round, they've got to go for it. Neo creeps his way through smoke. He has the Molotov, could burn out Relaxa, but he walks up instead. And his head will be exposed. Instantly popped. Bialy and Pasha have to now clutch this out. And I don't know. Odds are stacked against him. Papa Biceps gets himself the first, gets himself the next. How about a third? It's all he could find. The bomb's gone off, and Red Reserve takes 6.
Not a bad half out of Red Reserve. Starting off the CT, if they're able to capitalize on this pistol round, start it off, have 2 clean eco rounds here. Well, I mean, we got a brand new game, Connor, winning that first gun round as well as just as crucial as his pistol round for Red Reserve. For VP, I mean, simply taking the pistol in the first gun round puts him in the driver's seat to win this game. So that's exactly where they want to lie.
Key moment as well, I think, again, going back, is that round 4 1v1 clutch, because it's exactly that one round that allowed for VP to accumulate cash, and that money kind of, you know, it kept them afloat for the opening, say, 7 or 8 once Red Reserve started winning rounds back. They weren't instantly broken. They were always competitive in each of those rounds. Even, you know, by the time the money was gone, round loss bonus was playing a factor. So I think VP's job of sustaining themselves was made easier by winning the first 5. And if they lose that 1v1 clutch in the 4th round, their jobs is that much more difficult. And maybe it's Red Reserve who have this 9-6 advantage. But alas, it is the second half, and it is VP on the T side of Mirage with a full set of utility here between Neo and Michu. They've got the smoke, the flashes, the Molotov, and 3 players on Kevlar. They've got the mid-train heading straight towards A, and the first man slain. That's Plesson down on Catwalk. Batten locking down the hatches over here on the ticket booth, but he's going to have to fade away. Maintaining that CT control like you alluded to, like you emphasized, Devin. He'll have it as the bomb is planted.
Yeah, but the unfortunate part is VP actually has window control in Neo. So window jungle connector all towards VP right now.
Less that happens. Relaxa comes in from the vents, pops the head of Neo. The man from Catwalk hits the jump, so now there's 3 CTs pushing in through jungle. Snack's just quickly running away. He wants nothing to do with that fight because the bomb's planted out in the open. But DJ Loco's got the kit smoke, so they are getting closer and closer to the bomb site, and 2 quick kills inside of Connector now puts the CTs in control. They're gonna get on bomb, they're gonna smoke it off. Bialy comes out, but he's gone down, and Gustafsson gives cover. Michu might pop them after the fact, but the pistol is Red Reserve's.
All right, and coming into this gun round, are they able to repeat? I mean, the pistol round here, they need to keep at least 4 people alive here, Connor. They need to keep the majority alive, start building that economy. VP at any moment, if they win that first gun round, let's say, and put Red Reserve back onto an eco right away, that's not the position you want to be in. VP right now, as the momentum builds for them, they're able to win out. We saw it when they were up 5-0. As soon as they lost that first round, we saw the momentum kind of take a halt. That allowed Red Reserve to come into it. VP towards the end of the half regains that momentum and finishes it out very well.
Ooh, nice boost from DJ Loco. Saw it from Pasha on the op. This round it's versus just the pistols. And it's easy pickings. 8-9. No AWP for the first gun round, however. Neither economy, either able to sustain it, so no one obtains it. And Red Reserve will go towards that A stack instead. Now, Relax is showing presence inside of mid, and he has to be cautious because Neo's looking to pop him if he peeks. Virtus.pro getting themselves through the underpass, leaving bomb inside of apps. So their options are open. The grenades are going every which way here inside of mid. No contest on the mid control from Red Reserve, none whatsoever. But Relax is about to re-peek once the smoke fades, possibly. Or does he lock himself into the corner? He might have heard some footsteps, and he should know that there's definitely presence here. But how close, how committed? Those are the questions they have to ask. And with Red Reserve having this 3-man crossfire set up deep on A, they almost hope maybe that Relaxa creates an opening. Him dying here is going to force the feet of Virtus.pro closer towards the A site. Now the CTs start to peak, and they've got 2 Ts in the open. A dink and a kill goes back their way. The trap has been sprung, but Gustafsson can't get anything done at B. And a 4v3 is the result of that.
They're going to be able to save these guns. Look at this jungle now. Oh, he misses the shot. Bodden. Pasha's able to take him down as well now. And we see DJ Loco He's going to get into the apartments. Full utility on his back as well here, Connor. So not a bad save out of him, but nonetheless, this is exactly what VP needed, and this is the worst case scenario for Red Reserve. Look at their money now.
I think it's really cool in that round to see Virtus.pro leave the bomb inside of apartments the entire time, because there was there's a different scenario there where Virtus.pro are more committed towards that A site push, and then once they get the opening kill onto Relaxa, again, we talked about it, right? That trap they had set, 3 CTs in the bomb site. That's great if all of Virtus.pro are standing there on full display and all of a sudden you're popping up and you're taking down kills. We saw them dink one and kill the other. But because Virtus.pro still had bomb back through apartments, it was an easy fallback through underpass and a convincing execution with a player coming up catwalk as well. They had that ladder control from the get-go. So solid little setup there from Virtus.pro. Again, open options means that they can respond to those sorts of setups, and Red Reserve are left on the retake where they get nothing done. 1 AK saved, coupled with a single M4, 3 umps, and lots of utility here in the 4th round of the second half. But already VP working their way up mid. Already VP coming in from connector with that split on ramp where they find the opening frag. Batten now stuck in no man's land, gets aggressive and gets himself the first kill, but Snacks trades, and the CTs again now out of position.
That connector control once again forces Red Reserve to go onto that save round, and VP is gonna hit the 11th board.
What's nice to see as well right now is that Michu's actually been the most impactful player on this T side so far. It's still very early days and obviously just the second round one from VP. But I'd say, this is some place that they can definitely make use of him. It's such a new roster change, the replacement of Taz with Michu, that again, I was very impressed with the way that they slotted him into setups and trade fragging situations on the CT side. And now if we get to see him on more of an entry role on T side, I'm all for it. You keep the core of Virtus.pro pieced together behind him, and you just give him a chance to succeed. If you can have him succeed on the early days of this roster, then the confidence will start building much sooner than we might have expected. And with confidence, I think Virtus.pro are going to be able to unlock that world-class potential we all know they have. But right now, it's just simple. Pushing up through mid, smoking off the cat, blocking off the window, and trying to deal with DJ, who's already found himself the first, nearly gets a second, but has to just now sneak his way closer towards jungle as VP pops the smoke. Obviously, of course, 2 AKs in this round from Red Reserve, 1 ump and double pistols. So if they can find Relaxa and Batten over at this B site, then VP will be exploiting a weakness. But that weakness now supported, of course, by DJ's AK. Neo comes parading up from catwalk, reveals himself, and nearly gets shot for it. But the deagle firing off could actually build false confidence. If Virtus.pro think the pistols might be playing on that B site, maybe they try to get closer. And then surprise, surprise, they've got an AK in their faces. Gustafsson gives up jungle, A site pretty much open for the taking, but if Pleasant doubles back, then he might skewer Virtus.pro, as they'll think they're safe on this site, when in fact they're not. They've been boxed in. They've got CTs towards Ticket. Pleasant again on ramp, lines up 2! And he gets them both! It's Snacks and Pasha now left over, both over on connector. And what do they do from here?
Oh, Snacks sees Batten in the window. He's gonna pick up that frag. Okay, that's huge.
Still just painted into this picture, stuck inside of mid. Gustafsson trying to cover, but another headshot from Pasha. Pleasant comes off bomb. That allows Snacks to get closer, and he's got himself a frag. Pasha with another kill, but the defuse again. Again, Evan. Red Reserve giving cover on the defuse, just like the pistol.
Barely getting away with it here. I mean, VP, it's not the round they need. Nonetheless, they were able to get the bomb down, and they are going to buy right back into it. Red Reserve, their money isn't in the best shape. However, they are sneaking away with these rounds, and at some point, VP's going to have to save if this continues.
Straight up into the A site very quickly. Batten going to try to make the most of his utility. Throws the frag out, the smoke down, the flash over top. Never presented a shot, never presented a target. VP just using these covers to get in. But now, this time, planted yet again on the default boxes. Bit awkward last round when it wasn't planted for short, but look at Snacks. He's just hiding, cowering behind this box, waiting for his moment to strike, but Blessin sniffs him out. Blessin then pops Bialy, and another 2K for him. Instrumental to the success of Red Reserve he's been. Now the 4v3 on the A site with the flank yet again. It's Michu, and he hits the damage, gets the kill. Pasha finds the headshot. It's being cut down closer and closer, but Botton's all that's left. And Neo, he hits both. Op will be saved, and Virtus.pro back on the board with an effective reset.
I want to say we're going to see a force buy up from the Red Reserve side. Yep, there it is. No reset, Connor. You spoke too quick, bud. I mean, technically it did reset, but it's still the force buy out of the squad, right? They still want to battle it out. They aren't reset into the eco round.
And we'll see what they can do with the bare bones minimum. They actually have the same buy in this round as they did the last, with the 2 pistols, single SMG, and double rifle. But it's M4s, not AKs, Colts, not Kalashnikovs, and Virtus.pro have that one single op. Utility's already been spent from Red Reserve. Single flashbang remains. Again, 1 kit as well. That's on Relaxa. Keep your eyes on it. Right now on the B site, where, of course, Virtus.pro have set their sights. With DJ Loco locked into the sandwich, that's allowed for Batten to go on the flank. The long con. Just going to lock himself towards ramp for now. Two quick kills from Michu as he burns Relaxa alive. DJ Loco popped, and Blessin from the corner can only get himself one. But Gustafsson, my God! Bialy's gone right by. The op scoped in. And Freddy Frog's playing patient, finally fires off. Bialy's down for the peak, and Gustafsson with the patience has won this round. There's 15 seconds, and nowhere near is Snacks. What a play from Freddy Frog. The patience.
Snacks still had some life in him, though, but wow. From Gustafsson there towards that bench area. I mean, the trigger discipline at the end of the day, right, Connor? That's what it is. You see the terrorist, you know he's not looking at you. You don't need to pull the trigger. You can play a little bit longer with him. And because of that, he's able to secure the round for Red Reserve. And now we see an economy reset. But it's on the VP side.
Hard turn of events here. That round, that play, that one instance has put Red Reserve back into serious competition for this lead. And again, it's close. It's been close the entire match. We've had 1v1 rounds that crucially changed the economy. We've had defuses stuck just barely by Red Reserve, and yet now they're starting to take a strong foot in this game. Until Neo clears out Blessin using only that Glock. But Batten pops Snacks, Relaxa takes control, and he gets aggressive. Cutting it down to just Neo, who is also down for the count. Red Reserve, 1 round closer.
No ops on the field yet as we go into this 9th round. And I'd like to see one. I mean, I'd like to see one of the VP members. I mean, Snacks, even Bialy, Pasha, honestly, all of VP can handle the op. And even Michu, I think, would be great with an op. I haven't watched much of him, but I do know from the Polish scene, I mean, he's a very capable player. But VP opting for the AKs, to constantly force buying, and I mean, that's just a testament to how these rounds are going.
Fast flash on A. By the looks of it, Snacks gets shut down early on. Now, of course, this is still the stack, and DJ Loco hasn't shown himself. So again, a player committed to the site, off the peak with the frags, just blasts Pasha into pieces. But Michu, with 2 headshots of his own, is right back into the round, and Blessin has to just buy time. He's trying to get cover, and he gets himself a kill. Michu extends on the push and offers himself up. Blessin now double backing for this flank, and they're looking to pinch onto Neo. He's got himself the plant. If he wanted it, it was his. Gustafsson's not going to peek. He's just waiting for time. And so Neo will continue to clear the corners. He wants to isolate this into the 1v1 before he has to clutch, before the retake comes his way.
Plesson's already where he needs to be, though. This is great.
He's got the cover of the smoke. He's got another flash on him. Plesson comes out. He's spotted. He's down. Neo with the fading shot. But Gustafsson, he's going to have his back turned. He sees the barrel of the gun. It's done. Unless Gustafsson whiffs this, Neo will be executed. Instantly down. And Red Reserve on 12.
Yeah, at the end there, Neo just plays his odds, right? He's like, you know what? He could be connector. He could be in halls with the double flank. Or he could have come out ramp. I'm just going to pick a spot and hold tight. Unfortunately, it was none of those spots, Connor. The flank is coming in from spawn, and that's another round going towards Red Reserve. 3 in a row here as VP, I do believe, have attack pause coming in.
I think that play from Plesson is what creates this weird after plant situation for Neo. I don't think that, 9 out of 10 times he's going to try to play that position and just sit behind firebox. But when the player who was on connector, you saw him get the kill onto Michu, repositions all the way towards ramp, that would leave me to believe that someone's surely has to still be in connector, probably over towards jungle. I don't think he anticipated the CT peak whatsoever. But obviously, hindsight's 20/20. It's easiest for us to figure it out. I just think that Plesson playing proactive and moving around the map like that created a confusion for Neo to try and deal with.
Yeah, it was great. Great little individual play by Plesson. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Quite enjoyed it.
I mean, he's been playing very active in that sense, right? Repositioning constantly. It's something we saw from Virtus.pro on their CT side. We had layered setups, right? The first one that comes to mind was Snacks in window on the op, and then Michu boosting Pasha up towards the sandbags over on catwalk, and then Snacks falling off, right? Constant reposition, constant movement, trying to find a sleepy Red Reserve, trying to find that opening early on. And now Red Reserve doing the same. Just constantly hitting from multiple different angles, constantly repositioning and keeping Virtus.pro on their toes. And if you can get them thinking, if you can get them overthinking, then those are the kinds of moments you'll create, and those are the kinds of rounds you can win.
Does look like VP going to be going for that Hulls explode once again, and the ticket booth play from Baden should be able to get at least one kill and fall off here. Ooh, nobody gets flat.
Grenades are out. Grenades are back in. Mihu's just going to go on a tear here. He's offered up his back entirely. All he wants is to kill in CT, and he takes it. Now he comes back to help. They're pummeling shots through smoke both ways, and it's Freddy Frog to come out on top, but nearly taking down 2 players on Red Reserve as VP. They've got DJ Loco on 15, and Plesson sitting on 2. The force buy in this round has worked, and Red Reserve clearing out mid before they try to make the retake happen. But the flick shot from Relaxa just drops Pasha. He tries to go on some kind of a peak, some kind of a tear. Gets taken down for it. Utility as well, starting to come back in. We've got Molotovs, smokes, and frag. But yeah, I think you're right here. Time's going to be the issue. We've seen them stick bombs before. They do have Relaxa on it.
They're going to
down to 2, and they have it. All the kills with the stick. Red Reserve win another.
Wow. Wow, the way they keep getting these rounds, they're allowing that, they're taking every second, Connor, that they can to make sure every nade is thrown, every angle is checked. They are not overextending on anything and rushing into it. These are great retakes from Red Reserve. Very poor post plants, actually, from BP right now.
And it's surprising to me because we had that CT control. You could see how intent Michu was on getting that ticket control. He wanted to push CT spawn from the get-go. And with that, they didn't quite use it in their after-plant positioning. We see Pasha just try to throw himself towards connector and jungle, trying to maybe hold them back. But they had the after-plant position from the start. I can't help but feel like had they pushed more players in forward, then maybe Red Reserve are caught out in the open, and they maybe lose in that after plant situation. But right now it's DJ Loco in mid. Again, Red Reserve taking the opening frags, taking the ambition, and looking for their picks.
Plesson flubbed his smoke towards the connector area here, and this is where it gets scary now, as VP going to be making their way up into the connector.
Oh, and it's a nice crossfire. DJ Loco's gun buys the attention of Neo. Pasha now comes in to trade, and he slays both. That's the opening they needed straight back. And look at Michu. He's creeping in through the windowsill. Nobody moving forward here, but Relaxa can't creep in. He can't expose himself without surely being caught by this flank. And look at Botan. He's staying back on CT, not pushing forward, not trying to peek. They don't have ticket control on the terrorist side, but they do have the plant regardless.
No smokes or Molotovs this time, however, for the retake. And Relaxa is about to get caught by Michu. And here it comes.
Problem for Michu, though, is... Exactly. He can't just drop straight in. He needs to wait, and he shoots while he drops. Finally gets the shot. Gustafsson able to clear one man off of the site. Now, Bialy's got a Molotov. Gustafsson denied the bomb, and Botan cuts it down. Oh, so close. Another 1v1 situation here in the 26th round of the match, but finally it goes their way. Evan, they have had 3 consecutive bomb plants, 2 of which go into the 1v1 situations. Virtus.pro have been so close. They've been on the cusp of the economic resets, but they just haven't got them. Now, finally, they have a weakened Red Reserve.
Yeah, weakened Red Reserve with those CZs, the Mag 7, and the UMP here. And like you said, that's a testament to bringing those rounds into that 1v1, 1v2 scenario these last few rounds here. You've really burnt into the economy of Red Reserve and giving yourself a chance now to come back into this game.
So the Mag 7's position just on Van. We've got that single ump pushed up on ramp. DJ Loco to support. Relaxes back on ticket booth. And poor Plesson locked into the underpass cubby. So Catwalk's open for the taking. And if they can take Catwalk, then I don't see Gustafsson finding much impact on this shotgun. But what scares me now, Evan, is with the smoke grenade, things are going to get curious. He can start to creep around and find a position that might catch them off guard.
Ooh, oh my God.
Plesson, get Plesson's point of view right now. Snacks is being snacked.
He jumped right over him. He jumped literally right over him.
Oh my God, he's just creeping his way forward. Finally takes him down. 2 kills come in with Botan on the ump as well. And that's mid-control. Not to mention, bomb's still in spawn, so Pasha has to go back. He can't trade. And Relaxa slays Bialy up close. Guns him in the face. So Neo and Pasha doubling back towards B. Great mid-round call from these Ts.
Plesson, though, he's making the effort towards that catwalk, and we most likely will see some rotations coming in from Red Reserve now. Oh my God, Plesson might actually pick up the threat. Oh!
He's able to take down the bomb planter. Neo's going to get himself the AWP. Now, this is his chance to isolate the fights.
I mean, it's Neo. He's going to do it. He's going to do it. I'm betting all T. I bet all T. I bet all T.
Trained in the back of market. He's going to go for the peek. Hits himself the shot, and he hears the footsteps. Botan's going to have to walk in. Neo. Oh, Neo. He gets it, of course! Neo in the 1v2, Virtus.pro in the 2 versus 4. They double that back, or 2v3, from, of course, the A-site fumble that nearly costs them the round. They recognize that B is clear, they take it, and now, certainly, they should find themselves on 15. But they nearly lost that, so we cannot count out this bye. It's Red Reserve with one even better. No Mag 7, but at least the FAMAS. VP just loves to play with our heartstrings, don't they? They get us all worked up. They always give us a show. Emotionally invested, I'd say, is a lot of fans in VP. And,
or as that one famous CSGO caster would say, this is why we love Counter-Strike.
That's true. We have lots of reasons to love CS. Oh, and heart attack rounds like that are one. But this one's pretty patient. We've got just 2 players from the CTs pushed up on ramp. That will be Batten and DJ. Of course, no palace control, so eventually Bialy will be able to creep out. Hopefully he doesn't get clotheslined by the man just beneath him, as he did last round. That could have been a key moment for Red Reserve to turn it around.
This is very scary here. DJ Loco has no idea. He gets spotted out. He's going to get tagged. Thoden, though, he's going to get away with this positioning as Relaxa picks up Michu towards that window now. And we see the bomb going down into the A site, the post-plant scenario coming up, but the CT. Ooh, okay. As Snacks goes down, that's going to go back in the Red Reserve hands now.
Pasha, he wants to shut them down. He wants to try and cut down the CT control by getting himself at least one kill, but he knows there's another there. And Blessed plays with the corner. Pasha plays with no one. He denies himself that retake. CT's tagged up again. Pasha is the one who steps up in this round. Pasha is the one that might have just secured OT unless Who stops and gets himself two, and he can't. It's Virtus.pro locking down another round, 3 in a row, 5 consecutive plants. They've had this T side oh so close, Evan, and now they need 1 of 2 rounds to seal the deal.
And the money for those 1 or 2 rounds for Red Reserve not going to be in the greatest boat. They're going to have to, I mean, once again, they have to buy here. It's the end of the line for them at this point. But if they do buy up here, let's say, I mean, they even win this round, losing 3-4 people, their money's not going to be in a great position here, Connor. These last 2 rounds, regardless, Red Reserve back against the wall, economy low, they're going to be hard-pressed to win them. Yeah,
and I mean, right now, this is a round that they're going to be sitting on, you know, a bit of a situation they created for themselves. They force bought into the last, they buy into the FAMAS and the UMP. The round before was the Mag 7 and the UMP. So if they had just, you know, offered up this 15th round to Virtus.pro, had they given it as opposed to trying to fight for the win here in regulation, then they'd have a much better buy in this instance, and they wouldn't be just, you know, scrambling together whatever they can in this. So it's unfortunate, but it's the decisions that they made, and it's the prices that they'll pay.
Man.
I was going to say, quite wild to see as well that Snacks actually on this second half, you know, looking at the scoreboard, still has only 8 points, meaning he has so little kills. I can't remember the exact amount of frags he had coming into the first half, coming into the second. Obviously, he's significantly top fragged in the first 15 rounds, so they needed somebody else to step up in order to fill his shoes in this second half, because obviously his impact has tapered off, but now that is happening. We've had multiple clutch. We've had that clutch from Neo. We've had the round from Pasha just now where he's dealing instrumental amounts of damage. And if he can continue that up, if somebody can continue to find those big plays, then surely Virtus.pro have this, but it's no longer Snacks. So that just goes to yet again prove to us, right, the depths of Virtus.pro.
Okay, here we go. What could be the final round here if VP is able to pick it up, Connor?
Trio of UMPs, 1 single scout, and a Deagle utility for Plesson. They've got 1 Molotov, 3 smoke. And the opening 2 kills, DJ Loco.
Oh, wow.
And Relaxa going on a tear as they just charge straight up middle. They take this round from Virtus.pro. They try to strangle them out, and they have choked them successfully. Neo, however, does get the chance to plant. I mean, I'm not going to say he wins this.
Not a
but
fan.
What are the odds?
He can win this. He can win this. He can bring this into a non-defusable situation. Not necessarily 5 kills, but non-defusable.
Yeah, just try to buy time. I mean, Smoke's
Oh, no. He doesn't have a pick. It's too late.
Oh, first 2 players, they could just start lining up. Nope. He goes for the cat duel. He knew the Opera was down there. Probably knew that 1 was tagged. So, bomb plant and a kill will give Virtus.pro an extra injection of cash. But this is awkward, man. This is not a healthy buy. This is screaming overtime.
Overtime. That's my overtime call.
But I thought it was a soundboard, Evan.
I think VP that round. You know your enemy's on low buy. You know they don't have ops. You know they don't have M4s. Just take it slow. Look for any aggressing, gimmicky plays. And that's exactly what Red Reserve did. They went for that middle aggression. If VP was hanging out and waiting for them, I mean, easy kills. Hindsight's 20/20. But at the same time, you kind of lowered your percentage chance there, running into those CZs and UMPs in middle.
DJ Loco underneath the palace. He's got 2 Ts above him. They're clearing the corners, but Batten with an off angle plays next to Firebox. Will be traded out by Neo. Neo, he does clear beneath, but DJ gets the best of him. And now Virtus.pro into the late B strike. Plesson gives it up. And the retake will be on.
Oh no. Snacks got bumped in his molly flub.
That's not good, but it's not going to be crucial. They'll be able to circumvent the issue. As Red Reserve get themselves into position for the retake. They've got Gustafsson on the op here on Cat. They've got 1 man inside the apps and a late lurk from DJ Loco towards the marketplace. Virtus.pro playing double market and Michu pinned into Van. There's a lot of utility for Red Reserve here to use in this instance. They're going to have the chance to start isolating kills, but Michu, he just jumps through the flames, and Pasha slays another! Virtus.pro down to the 3v1. They got it! No overtime, Evan. Your song comes too soon. VP close out the game because that's what they